Our small internet business will end if the Supreme Court makes us pay state sales taxes. The Supreme Court will hear oral arguments Tuesday in South Dakota v. Wayfair, Incorporated, a case that will analyze constitutional arguments over whether the court should overturn existing precedent and require online retailers to pay state sales taxes. We are not lawyers. John is a law enforcement officer and a former Marine. Denise works from home. We live in Harper's Ferry, W.Va. So we don't claim to be qualified to analyze these questions of law or precedent. But we are a couple who started a mom-and-pop online retail business, Sarge Red's, to pay for the adoption and fostering of 2 children. So we are highly qualified to explain why if the justices overturn this precedent it will harm millions of families like ours. More, Amazon didn't kill Toys R Us, greedy Wall Street profiteers did it more. Trade with China isn't our top challenge. Trump should tackle automation. We stumbled into online retail while trying to start a family. 5 years ago, after seemingly endless fertility treatments and miscarriages, we came to accept that if we were to ever have children, we would have to adopt. It costs about $35,000 to adopt a child from a private agency and we didn't have that kind of money to spare. So we began to sell our things around the house online. Friends stepped forward to give us things to sell. One item was a set of collectible Magic the Gathering game cards. To our delight, the cards sold quickly. So we bought more and sold more. Soon we unexpectedly found ourselves in the business of selling collectible cards on our online store. We learned that there is a kind of stock market for collectible cards. If you understand the rules, you can make a profit. After a year of building up our business on eBay, we had made enough money to fund our adoption. The agency soon called to tell us we had been chosen by an expectant mother already in labor. We had to drop everything and make the 5-hour drive to the hospital immediately. While waiting in the hospital parking lot to meet our new baby, we got another call. Denise's mother had committed suicide. We sat in the parking lot and cried. Then we pulled ourselves together, knowing that our whole future wasn't inside that building. We soon met our child, our son, John Joseph Jr., Tripp, who as luck would have it would eventually sport red hair just like his new mother. Now we are fostering a lovely baby girl and growing our business while growing our family. Our sales are 25% on eBay and 75% on TCG Player. We have built an inventory of close to 1 million collectible game cards, mostly stored in old library card catalog cabinets filling up our dining room, our living room and our basement, along with toys and other collectibles. Denise sorts the cards and handles orders and finances, as well as the paperwork for taxes. John scours thrift shops and buys collections off of Craigslist. We netted about one-half of our $80,000 gross sales last year. More, China tariffs could hurt American families policing the USA. A look at race, justice, media. If the Supreme Court reverses its precedent and allows states to enforce sales taxes on online sales, it won't affect the Amazons, Walmarts, Targets and other big retailers. They have all become multi-channel retailers selling from their physical stores and distribution centers in almost every state and online. They collect and pay state taxes because of their physical presence in those states. For these large retailers and many other multi-channel sellers, tracking the complexities of taxes across the 45 states that levy sales taxes is just another back-office process, and they have the staff and budget to do it. For us, an internet sales tax would mean the certain end of our business. We can't afford specialty software to help us manage taxes. We don't have the staff, lawyers or accountants. It's just us. If state sales taxes are imposed, we would also find ourselves competing in many markets with unsophisticated sellers, often high school students, as well as unscrupulous sellers who wouldn't pay the tax and would consistently underbid our pennies on the dollar margins. Worst of all, we would be living under the constant threat that out-of-state tax agencies would turn our lives upside down with an audit. We would be defenseless against the tax authorities of California or New York. In their deliberations, We hope the justices of the Supreme Court will remember the millions of people like us who supplement our modest incomes to achieve our dreams. A year from now, a lot of us could be out of business. John and Denise Davis live in Harper's Ferry, W.Va, and manage Sarge Red's on eBay and Player.